Welcome, friends. I'm in a beautiful place. It's just a dreary little old spring winter day. Drizzling rain. But I'm here in a beautiful place. I'm above Douglas Lake here. You can see in the background, it's such a beautiful place. But I get out here in these picnic areas and I see all these picnics. First thing reminds me of growing up. A family reunion. Y'all had these a lot yourself. But it seems like as you get older, they're not like they used to be. You know, they went from having them every year or two to every 5 years, and as time went on, it was every 10 years. Now you're lucky you have one, seems like. Life's got a funny way. When you grow old, it starts taking things away from you. So you've had a family of 40, 60, 70 people at a family reunion. Now it's down to just a handful. And that's sad. That's why they get further apart. But anyway, I'm going to share a good little happy story with you about when I was growing up, if you want to hear it. Well, I grew up southeast Kentucky around Cumberland Gap there. On the Tennessee side, Virginia side, I lived all around it. But that's right there. But anyway, there's a place called the Cumberland Gap National Park. And that's where we always had our family reunions. It was a parkway before I was born. Well, there's a place back there in Dark Ridge there below the backside of Pinnacle, if you know the park, called Sugar Holler, Sugar Run back in there. We used to go back in there, have a picnic. And we'd have them on Sundays. And that's one really rare time Dad wouldn't go to church. On that Sunday, we'd have him family reunions. And anyway, the women would cook for 2 or 3 days for this. They wasn't going to have nobody bringing a pizza or store-bought chicken and stuff like that. No, it was homemade or it wasn't coming. That's the way these elders was. But anyway, when the time come, we'd get in that old finger mashing forward and we'd load up. Maybe a cousin or two with us on some of them. And the car would be loaded with it. Well, you say, well, what in the world is this finger mashing forward? Well, it's just the car we owned when we was growing up, the 2 doors. And kids had to climb in the back and out in the back from the parents all the time. It was kind of hard. But you didn't linger in that door, because to this day, I look at them doors just shut and it just makes me want to hide my fingers. I've had them mashed and bruised, but I'm lucky I still got them. And so was my brothers and sisters. They were finger mashing forward. You learn to jump straight in that thing and not linger around the door. When they opened the doors to get out, you hit that out of that car like a wild animal out of a cage. You didn't get around them doors. But anyway, we load up in that old thing, and we head down the road, and it'd be a car full of those cousins or something sometimes. Mom had baked a cake 2 days before, and if you get back there and got rowdy and got into her cake, it was over with. There wasn't no waiting, you got nowhere. They'd pull off the side of the road, and they didn't ask you to go get a switch, they got it themselves. So you didn't dare fool with none of Mom's stuff like that. Anyway, we got there. We get there kind of early because it kind of reserved some of the tables, help get a few more, there's so many of us coming. Before you know it, half hour there's a dozen, an hour there's another dozen. Before you know it, there's 40, 50 people there. People really don't even know you've never seen in your lifetime, but they're cousins or uncles of some kind. But you get there and first thing the men got to do, them horseshoes has got to be set up. Now these old country boys, these mountain men, they love to throw them horseshoes, especially our older people. Well, they don't play that much anymore. Now it's just that old, what is it, cornhole? Them old horseshoes was a man's job right there, a man's game. But anyway, they'd set them horseshoes up and they'd go throwing a little bit. They usually have them a tournament during the day. There'd be so many men that love to throw them. They'd have little teams. One would sit down and play that and then have a little tournament. But they done that off and on getting started. And we'd help clean up, set up the tables and help Mom, whatever we had to do, Grandma. And it was so sweet seeing all your elders all together in one spot, because usually you don't see them a few here and a few there, but they's all together. And everybody from 5 states away in the family that you don't see but once every 5 years or so is in. So everybody had a good time. It was just family affair. But anyway, come to eating time, they all line up. You'd have, that line would be 100-foot long, food on tables in them pavilions, and we'd have such a good time. And I'd look down that line, I said, well, I hope there's some left time I get to them biscuits, that piece of chicken down there. Well, what time you got down there, no, it's done gone. You had to get something else. But there was plenty of choices, plenty. I mean, and the men, they done all the hot dogs and hamburgers and steaks, fried chicken, whatever they wanted to do right there on the grill. That was their job. They kept them old grills, well, they'd be bigger than this. They'd even bring their own. We'd have to load them out of a truck and roll them over there. But we had plenty to eat. And we always had good prayer right before we eat. That was my dad and the elders always give prayer. That was the first thing. But anyway, after you eat, you can't move no more. And you're sitting around resting and resting a little bit. You get to moving around. The horseshoes go back to throwing a little bit, and before you know it, somebody's got hit by a horseshoe. Well, yeah, that happens. I've been hit a couple times. Now, us kids, I named this back when I was little. You know, you've got your horseshoe pits on each side, and 46, 48, I think 46 pace here. Here's a drawing you can see. And we called that area in between the two pits, that's the gauntlet. You got caught in the gauntlet, didn't you? As the kids say. But what it is, we didn't purposely run out in front of them horseshoes, but when they're almost 50 foot apart and you're playing and little old kids are running, they don't see them people throwing them horseshoes on the ends of each pit. They just, right, shortcut, there you go. And if you happen to be at the wrong time, the time that horseshoe's coming in there, you're going to get hit. And a few of us has got hit. See a big old bruise on you. So I always called that the gauntlet. You get caught in that one, you can get really hurt. And them kids get out there and they're playing. Used to have them old things. I remember they come out later in the 70s. They was the yarn darts. They looked like little missiles with wings on them. You throw them up in there and they'd come down in a little circle. Everybody played them. I played them. I like to play frisbee myself. Them kids would play them lawn darts, and I've even seen them there. They throw them things. Crowds everywhere. I wonder if somebody didn't get impaled with them, but I've seen them go through windshields. And every once in a while, you be out and you hear something screaming going on, and what's going on? Everybody's running. Little Johnny's fell in the creek down there. That gets all took care of. That's sorted out, and it's just things like that all day long. All day long. So I thought I'd remind you of these little old stories. And we load up in that finger mash and a Ford and head back home. But these are sweet times. And it's sad that as time goes on, you lose your elders. And it does touch on you. So, thank you, people. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoy these little old stories. So I want to thank you for watching. God bless you, and I'll see you next time.